going to teach you inversions today. First, just the shapes, and then I'll break it down in context. So take a root position major chord off of the D string. This is going to be an F major chord if I leave it in this position right here. Root note is F. Move this to the 7th fret with your ring finger and then the 5th fret with your index finger. Now just flip index and middle around so that it goes ring, index, then middle, like that. This is what we call first inversion. I'll break it down in a second. Now, just bar the 10th fret. So all these chords are using the D, G, and B string. Now what is happening here is I'm starting in root position, which just means I have my root note as the lowest note, followed by the 3rd, then the 5th. First inversion simply means you're taking the root note on the bottom, moving it to the top of the chord. Now you can do that if you wanted to start on the G string, bar to the E string and add that F. You can do that, or memorize this shape right here. The root note here is the middle finger. That's the F note. These other intervals is the 3rd and the 5th, then the root note on top. That's first inversion. Then move to the 10th fret. Now we have the 5th on the bottom, followed by the root note, then the 3rd. If you're not comfortable with your scales, this stuff can get a little bit fuzzy. So here's the easy way to break it down. If you know your notes on the strings, memorize the shapes, and you'll be good to go. I know that F is here. I know the shape here. That's a root position. For a first inversion chord, I'm using the B string. I know F is here. I memorize the shape. This is first inversion. For second inversion, I know F is here on the G string. Put the shape around that. Now there's my second inversion chord. So you can think about this several different ways, but one way to start out would be to identify your shape first. Root position, first inversion, second inversion. No matter where you put it on just think about it as inversion shapes. And then identify where your root note is. That will tell you where to put it on the guitar. So let's just do A really quick. A on the D string is here. So I can put my shape there. That is my root position major chord. I go to my first inversion shape, which is this shape here, but I gotta find A. Put my middle finger on an A note. That would be all the way up here, 10th fret of the B string. That would be an A first inversion triad. Then, if I want second inversion, I use the G string as where my root note will go. A on the G string would be here, or here, 2nd fret or 14th fret. Put my shape around that. If you notice, this is like how we play A normally. We have like the 3 fingers in 1 fret. So that's where it's coming from. Leave a comment if you have questions. I will answer every question that I see.